What's good, fam? Welcome back to The Code. We are in the middle of our Relationship Goals series. Today, we need to answer the question that floods my DMs. Noah, why can't I get over them? You broke up 6 months ago, they were toxic, you know they were bad for you, but you're still stalking their location. You're still checking their reposts. You still feel them living rent-free in your head. The culture calls it being down bad or obsessed. The Bible calls it a soul tie. A soul tie is like a spiritual glue. When you get intimate with someone, emotionally or physically, you aren't just hanging out. You are merging your internal files with theirs. And when you try to leave, you don't just walk away. You rip a piece of yourself off. Today, we are decoding how to fix the glitch and get your soul back. Let's open the source code. We need to understand the mechanics of bonding. Topic 1. The cloud sync mechanic. Check out 1 Corinthians 6:16 NLT. Paul gets extremely real here about physical intimacy. And don't you realize that if a man joins himself to a prostitute, he becomes one body with her? For the scriptures say the two are united into one. The breakdown. United into one. Think of this like iCloud sync. When you connect two devices, they start sharing photos, messages, and contacts. They merge databases. Intimacy, sex, but also deep emotional vulnerability is the sync button. When you bond with someone, you are downloading their trauma, their spirits, and their issues into your soul, and they are downloading yours. The reason you can't just forget them is because their files are still on your hard drive. You broke up physically, but spiritually, you are still synced. Breaking a soul tie means you have to manually go in and unsync the connection. Point number 2, the knitting process. Now let's look at how deep this goes. 1 Samuel 18:1 NLT describes the friendship between David and Jonathan. After David had finished talking with Saul, he met Jonathan, the king's son. There was an immediate bond between them, for Jonathan loved David as he loved himself. KJV says their souls were knit together. The breakdown. Knit together. Imagine taking two different colored sweaters, unraveling the yarn, and knitting them into one sweater. Now try to separate them. You can't just pull them apart. If you rip them, you damage both sweaters. You leave holes. This is why hookup culture is so damaging. We act like bodies are just playgrounds, but bodies are souls wrapped in skin. When you knit yourself to person after person and then rip away, you end up with holes in your soul. You feel empty not because you don't have a partner, but because you gave away pieces of your fabric to people who didn't deserve it. The only way to repair the knit is to bring it to the master weaver, God, for a stitch-up. Lesson 3. The captive reset. So how do we break it? 2 Corinthians 10:5 NLT gives the strategy. We capture their rebellious thoughts and teach them to obey Christ. The breakdown. You have to capture the thought. A soul tie is maintained by access. There's a Christian radio hostess whose voice I was in love with. I found it irresistible to turn off the radio anytime she came on. Then she started talking about finalizing the divorce process, and after the divorce, there was no day she did not talk about being a single woman doing this and that. I got fed up with her inability to move on. On that same show is a 32-year-old fervently looking for dates, and the older lady will like there are two of them available now. That part pisses me off because I thought it was unfair to this younger woman for whom we continue to pray to find love, yet you go on as if the divorce part is heavy enough to discourage anyone getting into any relationship. I couldn't call into her program to stop it because, after all, it's her show, but I still cannot process why a man with 4 kids, 2 of them in college, would walk out of a Christian marriage. My major issue is that story doesn't fit into Christian relationship counseling. It shouldn't be a daily routine on Christian radio. Actually, I had to cut to stop listening to that station completely because it would be difficult to just get off when she comes on. It's painful even for me, but something needed to give. That is the challenge of handling the access. Every time you look at their story, you are refreshing the connection. Every time you listen to your song and cry, you are feeding the tie. You have to go no contact, not just on the phone, but in the spirit. You have to pray, God, I renounce this tie, I delete the file, I take back the piece of my soul I gave them, and I give back the piece they left with me. It's a spiritual breakup. You have to evict them from your mind so you can have peace in your heart. So here's the wrap-up for managing the glitch in your heart. You aren't crazy, you're just tied. 1. Stop the sync. Stop stalking, stop engaging, cut the access. 2. Repent and release. Ask God to heal the holes in your soul where you ripped away. 3. Refill the void. Don't replace them with another person, that's a rebound. Replace them with God's presence. You can't be one with your future spouse if you are still one with your ex. Break the tie. That's it for soul ties. Next week, we're talking about the list, why your standards might be too high or way too low, and what actually belongs on your ideal partner checklist. If you're ready to get your soul back, drop a scissors emoji in the comments. This is Noah. Stay weird, stay faithful. Peace.